Hi, nice to meet you.
Okay, so then we can start. Please take a seat. I just explained that we have a very busy schedule here. And I would like to welcome you all to this very timely and important meeting by this year's Sakharov Prize laureates and finalists. Throughout the week, we've heard from them how they risk their freedom and, in some cases, their lives to defend democratic values and humanitarian principles. To discuss on how the European Union can strengthen its protection of humanitarian workers who confront threats, violence, and obstruction due to their work as humanitarians. International NGOs who are present here today and funded by DG ECHO provided support to 454 humanitarian workers across the world.
I would like to start by asking you a question. When you wake up in the morning and turn on your phone, what do you see immediately? A viral video? A new influencer? A global superstar filling stadiums from Paris to Buenos Aires? We live in a world obsessed with fame, with likes, views, and followers. But at the same time, somewhere else in the world, at the exact same moment, something very different is happening. In Gaza, a woman kneels beside a child, checking for a pulse. In Ukraine, a man unloads a box of medicines as bombs fall. In Sudan, an aid worker negotiates at a checkpoint so an ambulance can pass. In Afghanistan, a young woman risks her life to keep education for girls alive. No cameras, no applause, no red carpets. Some say we live in a time without heroes. I couldn't disagree more. These people here today, courageous humanitarians, are what hero looks like. Waking up every day knowing your work may put you in danger. Not for fame, not for recognition, but because someone is hungry, someone is wounded, someone needs help. And that is why today is about you, the humanitarian aid workers who protect others when everything else is falling apart. I cannot think of a more noble calling. Dear friends, over the past years, as a Commissioner for Humanitarian Aid, I've met your colleagues in Ukraine, in Syria, in Jordan, in Turkey, in Bangladesh, in Egypt, in Colombia, and I forgot many other places. I have watched them at work, so often tending to a child who knows nothing about war, nothing about politics, nothing about ceasefires or roadblocks, or the name even of a hurricane. A child that simply says, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm afraid, I need help. And you help. You help with whatever you have. A piece of bread, a cup of water, a sleeping bag, medicine. Your small human gestures that change everything for another human being. And today, we honor you. And yet, humanitarian workers are being killed, wounded, and kidnapped in record numbers. Last year was the deadliest year ever. 383 aid workers killed. This year, almost as deadly, 326 lives lost. The world is failing humanitarian workers, and we have a responsibility to protect them. For the European Union, protecting humanitarian workers is a top priority. And with attacks skyrocketing, this work is more urgent than ever. The European Parliament's decision to nominate humanitarian aid workers in Palestine and in all conflict zones represented by the Palestinian Red Crescent Society and UNRWA as finalists for the 2025 Sakharov Prize sends a very powerful message. Your work reflects the values this Parliament was built to defend in Gaza, in Ukraine, in Afghanistan, or in Sudan. Ladies and gentlemen, the European Union is not only funding humanitarian action, we are fighting to protect it. That's why we created the Protect Aid Workers Programme, a program that provides emergency relocation, legal assistance, medical care, and psychosocial support. It is our promises to you. Your safety matters. Your rights matters. So far, we have helped more than 400 humanitarian workers in their darkest moments, responding to over 200 security incidents across 17 countries. And today, I'm proud to announce that we are reinforcing this commitment with an additional €850,000 for 2025 and €3.5 million for 2026. This will allow us to reach more aid workers, respond faster, and stand even stronger beside those who work on the front lines. And I intend to make our Protect Aid Workers programme a permanent European Union tool. But money alone, of course, won't solve the root causes of the problem. We must also defend the rules that protect humanitarians. International humanitarian law must be protected. An attack on an aid worker is not a collateral damage. It is a war crime, and war crimes demand accountability. The EU has a unique role, not just to speak up, but to help set the rules. And that's why every year at the UN General Assembly, we keep the safety of humanitarian and medical workers high on the global agenda. And just last week, by the way, the UN adopted with an overwhelming majority a resolution which was championed by the European Union on the safety and security of humanitarian workers. Again, a clear demonstration of our European leadership. And now, as a European citizen, I am very proud that this Parliament has nominated both humanitarian workers and journalists in conflict zones for next year's Sakharov Prize. They are really our moral compass. Dear friends, don't let anyone tell you that heroes no longer exist. They are very much alive. They are here right now in this room. And they are at work right now in so many crises around the world. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your compassion. And thank you for showing up day after day. Thank you very much. And now I would like to invite Dr. Yunus Al-Khatib, President of the Palestinian Red Crescent Society and finalist of the Sakharov Prize 2025.
We fear that humanitarian workers to be a target as long as you have mentioned, accountability is absent. It's not enough to talk about respect during this war. Many more were lost by UNRWA, by other as an organization. All types of humanitarian organizations did suffer from disrespect, this rise in targeting humanitarian workers. And this is when our 15, the mobile of one of our colleagues who documented the whole journey.
Dr. Al-Khatib. Now I give the floor to Marc Lasouawi, Senior Manager at UNRWA Office for Europe, representing an organization that is also a finalist of the Sakharov Prize. Please, the floor is yours.
The real heroes, that many of whom have paid the ultimate prize. This is recognition for colleagues, the 16,000 men and women.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For the past 4 years now, I, alongside a group of Afghan girls and women, have been struggling to be able to protect our loved ones and have access to very basic. Thank you very much.
Hakim, and I invite now Mykola Obelshak, a Ukrainian volunteers and regional case management coordinator with humanitarian mission Proliska. His statement will be interpreted in English. Thank you, Anastasia.
Працюючи поруч із лінією фронту, рятуючи людей з-під обстрілів, я та сотні моїх колег щодня стаємо мішенню. Загинуло 11 людей, близько 50 отримали поранення.
11 people were killed and about 50 people were injured.
I'm pleased to invite Commissioner Lahbib and David Annequin from Protect Aid Workers. It represents our promise that those who risk everything to help others will not stand alone.